大家好，我是 Benny。今天这部影片，我们将告诉各位 ANKORUS 这间公司的核心概念价值，还有它即将目的 ANKORUS 值得让您投资的地方在哪边。目前在台湾的投资人，如果您想要投资国外的股票或者期货，不外乎就是到券商去开立证券附委托，亦或是去期货商开立海外期货。而有借由以上两种方式投资海外证券、期货、选择权、债券等商品的投资朋友，你自己就会知道，你所需要花出的成本会比当地的投资人还来得多，包括台湾券商的手续费、当地券商的手续费跟当地政府的交易税。以下影片我们将会看到 ANKORUS 的创办人兼 CEO John Cruz 在一段受访的影片中去介绍 Ankorus 的核心概念价值：全球性可交易资产电子货币化。
Hi, Dave. I'll start about 150 years ago with the modern futures markets that started in Chicago. And the reason that they started was because the wheat farmers, had nowhere to hedge their exposure. So they started, the Chicago Board of Trade was the first one to start, and they would come in with their carts of wheat. They would be looked at, inspected. They would put them in warehouses, and in the warehouses they were insured. And once they knew that the wheat was good, they were able to trade those receipts in the future as futures contracts. And that's how it started in Chicago. So it was put at the warehouse and inspected, almost like we're trying to do today, where we're going to put it on the blockchain, but it needs to be inspected and made sure it is not counterfeit, it's up to standards. That's what they need to really do in the modern world of blockchains.
Because when we talk about going back into the actual sales of wheat, you could walk up, you could put your hands on it, you could guarantee that it was the authentic item that you were purchasing. Today, when we put things on the blockchain, how do we guarantee they're even authentic? I mean, who's overseeing this, and what if something's wrong? Who arbitrates in this? You were talking about as we move forward with Ankorus.
Exactly. The big part of putting anything on the blockchain is who's going to have the oversight of what goes on the blockchain. If something bad gets put on the blockchain, if something's counterfeit, who's going to ensure that to make sure that doesn't happen? That's the weak point with putting everything on the blockchain. As an example, if you put a deed on there, who's going to stand behind that deed and say that this deed is not counterfeit, this deed has title insurance? Without that, anyone could put anything on the blockchain. They could have 5 different deeds for that one property on the blockchain.
And that goes right into the financial assets as well. One of the stopping points for the SEC was all this cowboy Wild West finance raising. No insurance, no oversight, no arbitration, nobody to back anything up. How is this Ankorus ICO going to be different with the SEC and broker-dealer? Can you explain that a little bit?
Ankorus will become an SEC-regulated broker-dealer, which means that we'll be covered by all the oversight and financial regulatory requirements of the SEC. So anyone can come to us, pay in crypto, and buy any financial asset that they choose. The financial asset will stay with us as the custodian. It'll be insured. And then they can sell it at any time. They can redeem it at any time as anchor tokens. That's why we're using the present safeguards of an SEC-regulated broker-dealer to do this. Our competitors are not doing that, but we are.
So I know you mentioned stocks as one of the things that you can use anchor tokens to purchase and swap over. What other types of financial products are you going to be offering in this ICO? So stocks everybody knows, but what else? Options maybe? I mean, some people are familiar with that if you're trading futures. What other types of things are we looking at?
Anything that a broker-dealer can fill you on. Everything from bonds, treasury bills, treasury bonds, stocks, options, futures, anything that's available at your current broker, we will be able to buy for you and tokenize.
Well, if I'm a U.S. citizen, can I get some exposure to a foreign market? Okay, let's say Australia is pretty easy to buy. So let's say I have a brokerage account, Ameritrade or something like this online. I can buy into the Australian Stock Exchange. But what about some of these more exotic markets that are out on the planet that some of these traditional exchanges that you're going through online don't have access to? Are you able to access those?
Eventually we will. We'll become a registered broker-dealer in those jurisdictions, and we'll offer those products to our clients, which is we want to expand the total reach of it. We basically want to be a kind to an interactive brokers and a Coinbase all rolled into one.
So which markets are you going to start with after the ICO completes?
We'll start with the American markets, the European markets, most of the major Asian markets. And then after that, we'll start getting into the secondary markets like Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Brazil.
Yeah, John, also there's been a lot of news recently, specifically this week, about Bitcoin options coming out for trading. That's taken everybody by storm. They don't even know where this has come from. How are these people able to do it? Since all the way up until this last week, everybody's been forbidden from trading any kind of financial assets due to SEC regulation. So what just happened that flipped the coin, literally, no pun intended, to allow these financial assets to be traded through the blockchain now?
Well, LedgerX came out with Bitcoin options, and the CBOE, the Chicago Board of Options Exchange, will also be offering Bitcoin options. And you'll be able to access both of those through us because we'll also become a member of the Chicago Board of Options Exchange. So cryptocurrency traders right now, through us, if they have an account through us, through our broker-dealer, they'll be able to hedge their exposure to Bitcoin prices using those options at the CBOE.
So I've heard you mention broker-dealer a couple of times. What type of special rights does being a broker-dealer give you in this whole economic sphere in dealing with stocks, dealing with traditional markets, financial regulation, SEC? Can you go into that in a little bit greater detail as well?
One of the main benefits for our customers by being a broker-dealer and a member of the exchange is we're able to give them the lowest possible commissions. So in that way, we'll be very close to a Robinhood app where they have no commissions. We'll be there as comparable to them. The other thing that we offer customers by coming through us is they have insurance and oversight to make sure everything they buy is accounted for, and they'll get a daily statement. And getting your statement daily is a big thing. You don't have to worry about risk of default like cryptocurrency exchanges. You don't have to worry about your account being hacked. Everything is safe with us. They're the safeguards that everyone's used to right now. We're just bringing them into the crypto space. And the crypto guys can come to us and preserve and anchor some of their wealth that they've made in these crypto markets to financial assets.
So if I got this right, then Securities Investor Protection Corporation, SIPC, is that the insurance that these financial assets you're talking about trading, are they covered under there? I mean, insurance, that's going to be a big thing for everybody moving forward.
Yes, as a registered broker-dealer, we'll cover it on the SIPC, absolutely. And we'll be audited on a regular basis by the exchanges, and will be audited by the regulatory authorities.
每一项金融交易还有投资，在排除掉探讨获利和亏损之外，投资人最在乎的不外乎就是投资平台的安全与否，还有交易的成本高低与否。Ankorus 的 ANK Token 即将于今年的11月25号正式开始募集。我们团队客观地认为 ANK Token 与成功发行的机会非常的大，原因是来自于它强大的金融团队背景。最重要的是 ANKORUS 这间公司所做的每一个决策还有方向，都是为了让投资人可以得到一个更安全的交易平台，还有更优惠的交易手续费。只有让别人更好，自己才会更好。我是 Benny， 希望大家喜欢今天的影片。如果对 ANK Token 想要了解更多的话，都可以借由以下连结到我们的粉丝专页搜寻更多的相关资料，也很欢迎借由脸书的平台提出你对 ANK 任何问题的地方，我们都会在第一时间回复您。希望你能有美好的一天，谢谢你的收看。